Hello, everybody, and welcome into Texas-Ohio State postgame live here at the Texas at the Voice of College Football channel. Yeah, we're always going to throw these up, but a disappointing day. Texas loses this game 14-7. I am joined by Gerald, Josh, and Brandon. You can catch Gerald and I every Monday. You can catch Josh and Brandon every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll definitely be breaking down this game Monday and Tuesday a little bit more, but we just want to get the early reactions. And I'll start, you know what, we'll start with the bad first. So I think there's a lot in this game, and I guess we'll go around the panel. And Gerald, I'll start with you. What do you think was the biggest takeaway, and what is the biggest bad you saw in this game from Texas?
I mean, without sounding too repetitive, the red zone. Texas goes to the red zone twice, comes away with no points. You turn either of those trips into points, it's a different ball game. I'm not sure whether it's a mental block with the players. I know it's a mental block with the coach because I don't know what he was doing on that 4-down sequence. I in my heart of hearts was he's setting up a jump pass, right? There's no way you run draw and then QB power and you're not setting up some sort of trick play where a tight end sneaks out and Arch takes 2 steps and dumps it. That's what I told myself. Otherwise, that was the only thing that made sense in my head. And then they didn't do that. So I don't know. The red zone has been an issue, and whatever. Sark gets pissy when people ask about it, and they're asking you about it because you are literally one facet of the game away from a national championship trophy and an SEC championship. Texas had 3 bites at the apple in the national championship semifinal from the 2-yard line. Couldn't stink and do it. You had shots at it against Georgia in the SEC championship game. Couldn't do it. And that is just inexcusable for somebody who is touted as an offensive genius, for somebody who's touted as somebody who is one of the smartest and best thinkers around offense in the game. I don't know what it is, but they've got to figure that out.
Josh, I'll let you go next on that one.
I guess I'll take the low-hanging fruit here. I'll talk about Arch Manning. I want to preference this by saying he's going up against a fantastic defense with some stellar members in the secondary. They got some absolute dogs on every single way, including the coordinator who is just making life hell for Arch. With that said, multiple missed throws by Arch, multiple crucial throws. In the red zone, there was that throw he made to Livingstone. If he just looked a little bit closer, you had a rub route to Wingo. He was wide open in the end zone. Could have been a touchdown right there. On that the 3rd and 5, missed Ryan Wingo. Also missed injuries. Multiple other plays where he made some just poor decisions. The interception was bad. The Wingo deep ball where he was double covered was a bad decision. It was just the entire day for the most part. That first play of the game missed a wide open throw. So I thought Arch was pretty bad. I thought he got going a little bit later. I don't want to put all the blame on Arch. It's a tough defense. I didn't think the play calling was particularly good. But, if Arch was a bit more experienced, I think we win this game. But just couldn't do it. So, yeah, I go with Arch.
Brandon, I'll let you go.
For me, it was the O-line play. The numbers don't show a lot of sacks, but when you look at the tape and you really study it, it was constant pressure in his face. So when you have that constantly in your face, especially from Baker, he struggled. He had penalties. He missed multiple assignments in the run and pass game. They didn't play as a cohesive unit today. You saw the lack of experience up front and at the quarterback position. You saw it all come to light in a very hostile environment. So going forward, that's going to be, things that need to be fixed. And with experience, those things that come, but the O-line can't allow free runners. They can't allow pressure in the quarterback face because that's only going to make the quarterback's job that much harder.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I thought in the run game they were really good, but yeah, pass protection was a little iffy. But I kind of expected that. I didn't expect them to be perfect. I actually thought the offensive line, compared to what I thought going in the game, played better than I thought they were going to. That's the thing we were talking about before we jumped on here. I think if you went down and checkmark stuff off that we thought was going to be a problem, everything was checkmark off, other than Arch Manning. I really thought he struggled in hitting layups. And that's what I'm saying. When the throws were there to be made, he missed them. And he did have some great passes down the stretch. The one to Andrews, the one to Wingo, both really good passes. But we saw it from the first throw. It was roll out, play action, wide open, come back, and he just dirts it 2 yards in front of the guy. It's just that was kind of, the nature of the offense from here on out. So, kind of surprised by that, honestly. I thought he'd play a little bit better. I didn't expect him to come in, throw
I actually
330
wasn't.
yards and stuff like that.
I actually wasn't surprised by that because maybe me and Josh talked about it in our show. College, you don't get a preseason. This is first live reps versus a defense that fast. Like in practice, Texas defense is good, of course, right? We allow 14 points to a really good team. I'm not taking none away, but game speed is 10 notches higher than practice could ever be. So that the jitters, like just the mental stuff that goes on with playing quarterback in terms of your nerves and all that stuff. I was expecting him to be around 55% completion, throw 1 pick and 2 touchdowns. That was literally what I had because I know how a defense and a crowd can easily affect the quarterback, even the most veteran guys. So actually, that's why I'm not totally surprised by the missed throws. I did think it would get better as the game go along, but then you saw him like beaming, like crossing routes, like mesh routes. I'm like, bro, you got it. Just throw a catch the ball. Yeah. Just give him something he can catch. Lollipop. He was throwing lasers like the 35 to Wingo. Had he could have closed his eyes and just threw it like this. Wingo would have caught the ball. And now we're in a totally different situation. So I'm not totally surprised by the way Arch played. I'm more so surprised by the way Sark called the game. Honestly,
gosh, I agree.
We
gotta have a conversation about that. Sarkisian's play calling was bad.
Oh my god! Like I'm the OC, but you guys tell me if I'm wrong. To your point, Gerald, when you're in the red zone like that, you would think at some point you have a play action, you have some sort of misdirection, throw something off. Like, what are you guys thinking? Just in terms of the play calling in the red zone, especially, but overall too.
Gerald, I'll let you go.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're spot on. It I don't know what shifts in Sarkisian between like the 20s and the end zone, because I think from 20 to 20, he's normally okay, right? But just something short circuits. I think it might be like he's too smart for his own good. Like I think he thinks something and then he outthinks that, and then he outthinks that. So I think he might be like cycling too much on it. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because I mean, Brandon, you know more than any of us. Like when you think too hard about something in sports, it gets to be too hard. It gets harder than it needs to be. And that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Texas, that makes sense. The offense looked solid. Like I was shocked how well the running game went. Like especially we talked about it on Monday, Matthew. CJ Baxter inside zone, like run between the guards, like that is going to be there for you all sneaking year. And so like if you isolate everything but the Texas passing game, if you tell me pregame Texas rushes for 166 yards and holds Ohio State to 3.8 yards per play, I'm putting a mortgage payment on the game, right? Like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 26 carries for 120 yards from the running backs. Like, if you would have told me that, I'm like, oh, we win by 10 plus points. That's what I would have thought. But it's just, and that's the thing. Like, Quinn hit those layups, and I don't think fans gave him enough credit for that. That's the thing. Yeah. We would be like, oh, no, everyone hits that. Everyone does. No, they don't. This game showed that. Those 7-yard throws that are easy, guess what? Those aren't so easy, are they? So I'm done with people talking about that because that pissed me off a lot last year, and this game proved to you, guess what? The guy may hit layups, but in Sark's offense, if you just get the ball to the playmakers, those layups can just turn into 15, 20-yard gains. Like that little jump off to Ryan Wingo, that's a 3-yard pass. Guess what it is? It's going to be a 15-yard play minimum if he catches the football. So I'm done hearing about that. And the thing is, too, I told people after the Mississippi State game last year, and I got yelled at by Texas fans because I overreacted. This team commits stupid penalties at bad times. And guess what? Versus Mississippi State, you can do that. When you play Washington in a playoff game, when you play Ohio State in a playoff game, when you play Ohio State in the shoe, those little things become the big things when you play those teams because they are on even talent level as you. So we have to do the little things better. We have to execute in the red zone. We have to do penalties. That is it, guys. We're on the – it's funny I'm saying this. We're on the 1-yard line of winning a national championship because we have to – and we have to execute that. That's literally it. We do everything else very freaking well.
Yeah.
John, I'll let you go or whoever wants to take that.
Jay Watt.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm looking at the numbers here. We had 136 or 133 extra total yards, almost 100 extra rushing yards. Passing the football almost 50 yards. But the turnovers, we had 4 more turnovers for additional 35 yards. We had the interception. I thought we had 2 interceptions. I personally thought the other interception probably should have went their way, but it didn't go their way. Just a lot of missed opportunities. You know, we were 5 of 14 on third down, 1 for 5 on fourth down. Like, those were just killer. You know, if we just convert in the red zone and if we weren't so damn conservative in like the first 3 quarters, I felt like he started to really kind of let the play book open up a little bit later, but it was run the ball on first down, run the ball on second down, and then have Arch in 3rd and 8s, 3rd and longs, try to make plays, and Arch just wasn't ready. And then when they tried to pass the ball early, Arch wasn't ready either. It just felt like Arch could never get into a rhythm, and it really affected our passing game. And it's unfortunate. The numbers would look and indicate that Texas won this one pretty handily because the defense balled. I mean, the defense was incredible today, but
they were.
Yeah.
You lose by 7. You had a chance to win late. You couldn't convert a 4th and 5. And yeah, it feels like it's the exact same issues we've had the past 3 years coming back to life in this game.
Few things. To your point, Jay Watt, we were so bad on 4th down. If we're not good on, if we don't get it on 3rd and we're not good in the red zone, punt the ball. Like, I mean, like, our defense was playing lights out. Just let them go out there and play, because eventually, I always thought if you kept saying backed up in his own territory, he's going to give us an opportunity. Hardline is going to get aggressive, maybe every now and again. Like an opportunity was coming, but we would give them great field position, and the defense would save us anyway. Sometimes with a young quarterback and a really good defense, I mean, it sounds very boring. Just punt the ball, punt it, line back up, keep them backed up, like, play the field position game. So now you can give Arch a short field and you know, maybe dial things up because you can be more aggressive. But to keep 1 for 5 on 4th down, it's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, this is not a video game. Punt the ball.
Yeah,
Just
and I actually
get rid of it.
I agreed with the first one. The second one I hated.
Yeah.
Once you had flipped the field position, we saw what Bowmeister did. Like, if you flip the field there and they start inside their own 10, yeah, he was phenomenal. Like, we have ourselves a punter for sure. Like, I completely agree. And that's where analytics has been a problem just in general. You have to feel out the game. And this was a defensive slugfest with both offenses struggling. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, I think there needs to be a discussion. I think we can kick this off. And I talked about it a little bit, and maybe it's an overreaction. I don't know. Now that I have people to bounce it off of, it's really cool. So, should Sarge give up play calling? When's the last time a play caller has won a national championship as a head coach?
Yes, he should.
Okay,
yes,
I'll let B Ross go first because I disagree. I think he should stay.
And the only reason I say that is because I don't think he calls the game and manages the game well enough on both levels for Texas to win a national championship. We can win 10, 11 games every year, get to the playoff, because we have a ton of talent. But when you're talking about game management and play calling, I think he can take a step back from play calling, help with play design still, right? But it's so many talented play callers out here who can do just that. So now Sark can focus his attention on, oh, you know what? Look at the big picture, because sometimes as a play caller, head coach, you get zoned in on what you're doing within the offense and not looking at the big picture. The big picture allows you to say, you know what, my defense is playing good. It's 4th and 2, 4th and 3. We're not running the ball effectively right now. You know what, punt it. Or with a different play caller, it allows the play caller to be more creative than maybe what Sark would be. And now, you know, now we're picking up those games. Maybe we're scoring more in the red zone. But like, I wouldn't mind seeing him take a step back from play calling so that he can better manage the game. Because I mean, like the second 4th down was just one you sitting there like, what have we done? Well, like, that was so unnecessary to me. But I mean, personally, I just think as a head coach, until you can prove that you can do both at the same level, then take a step back and then just manage the game.
See, for me, I don't think he should fully let go of it. I think that maybe there needs to be sort of a system put in place to where Kyle Flood or somebody else in the staff,
AJ Milwee.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody like that could sort of be like an advisor almost, because there is a bit of a thing with Sark where I think there's pride involved with him with being the play caller, and I think he's an excellent play caller. I think his play designs are fantastic. I think there's a lot of potential within this offense, but I do think maybe at times he gets a little bit too fancy. And then I think for him, he struggles with balance a lot, where sometimes he wants to be really physical at the line of scrimmage and pound it down your throat. And there's other times where he wants to be a little fancy, a little bit cute, but there has to be sort of a balance to it to keep opponents, on their toes a little bit. I don't think he quite has that yet, but I want to give him a bit more time here. With this is only the first game he's had with Arch as, the full off season, and it's against Ohio State. So, I mean, if we struggle in these next 3 games, then I'm fully on board with, we got to figure something out, right? Because these next 3 games, we should not struggle. But if we're in the middle of SEC play and things aren't going well offensively, we got to make some changes. But I think for now, you got to keep it on him. Just, keep an eye on it for now.
If Texas struggles in these next 3 games, I'm gonna need to up my bourbon budget. That's the first. But I'm of 2 minds for it, right? Because you hire Steve Sarkisian because of the play calling ability and the offensive mind, but he's also and this is not meant to be shaded, but what is AJ Milwee doing then? Because Sark is really the quarterback coach, Sark is really the offensive coordinator, and those are the 2 titles that you have tagged to AJ Milwee. So I'm not sure why you and again, I'm sure AJ Milwee does a ton. I'm not in the athletic facilities, but I assumed that's kind of why you have a guy like AJ Milwee in his in your pocket all the time, so you can coach somebody up and mentor somebody up to be the guy that you can hand things off to, because ultimately we have seen moments where Sark probably needs another voice in his ear, where he needs another voice in the conversation, whether it's Kyle Flood, whether it's AJ Milwee, whether it's somebody else on the staff, Jeff Banks, I don't know who it might be, but there needs to be, I think, somebody in that conversation to save Sark from some of his worst instincts is the only thing I can think of there. But I don't know if he gives it up completely. I think you obviously still have Sark very involved in your scripting, because I don't know if there's a better scripter in college football or in football at any level really at this point. But I think there needs to be another voice in the conversation for sure.
No, that's where I am too. I'm very close to where I just want him to design the plays, but I want someone else to execute them and sequence them. I think that's where I'm at, because this hasn't been just a college thing. That's what he struggled with at the NFL too, with executing in the red zone. That's why he got fired from the Falcons. He was not good in the red zone there. That's why he got fired. He moves the ball beautifully in between the 20s versus 99% of teams. It's in the red zone. And I agree. I wouldn't trust AJ Milwee. I would do what Ohio State did. Ryan Day realized his weaknesses of, I'm being spread out too much. I can't call the plays and be the head coach. And guess where I went? I went and got Chip Kelly. I don't know who that is. I don't know if we can find him. And I'm not saying they have to be as good as Chip Kelly, but who is that older guy that's been calling plays that we can find that can fit in this offense and take over that play calling duty? That's kind of where I'm at. But I also agree with you, Josh. I'm fine with more time. To me, I don't even know what to think of these 3 games. We'll win these 3 games. We can roll out the football. We'll win them by 21 plus, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's the Florida game. What is that game going to be? Because that game's going to be super interesting. You're going to go into another hostile environment. You're going to be playing a team that I actually think will produce more offensively than this Ohio State team did, just because it's week 5 instead of week 1. Now, is their defense as good as Ohio State? Absolutely not. But is it still a solid defense? It absolutely is. So that's going to be the next test for me to see if, hey, maybe it is that time. Maybe it is time to hand over those play calling duties, because the last guy to win a national championship, and it's said all the time, as a head coach plus play caller, was Jimbo Fisher at Florida State. And that's a very, very long time ago. And that's kind of like a bygone era of college football, in my opinion. I think you kind of spread too thin with portal, NIL. You have to be more of a CEO guy at this point, in my opinion.
He also had a Heisman winning quarterback when he did that. So you have that there as well, right? So that's the asterisk you put on that, because Jameis Winston changed things.
Can I make a bit of a hard pivot here to the defense real quick? Because I do have one negative I wanted to talk about with the defense.
Of course.
0 sacks on the day. Colin Simmons, that 3rd down, hands to the face penalty, in some ways, maybe potentially cost us the game in some ways. I felt like there wasn't a ton of opportunities to get to the quarterback, but when there was, not a ton of pressure. I mean, sometimes there was. I feel like there were some good plays here and there. I felt like Colin Simmons in a lot of ways was kind of a no-show. Maybe I missed something, but I didn't really see Colin too much.
Well,
yes.
Go ahead.
I kind of agree with that, but I feel like they got rid of the ball pretty quickly in this game. Like they only took like 2 to 3 shots on the field. And let's be honest here. That throw to Carnell Tate was a terrible throw. That was just a great catch by Carnell Tate. And that really was the difference, honestly. Like Ohio State wide receivers were able to get open and make plays when the ball was thrown to them. And for the most part, Texas wide receivers were not. And, usually wide receivers aren't the difference in many games, but they were in this game. And that's where I am. I don't think – now, do I think we should have got more pressure? Yeah, because I think we have the best front seven in the country, and they did phenomenal in the run game. They stifled the run game very well. But I agree with you. I think, especially Colin Simmons, if you're going to throw up the Julian Sand thing on Instagram, can you give me 1 sack? Can you touch him more than one time? Because he only hit him 1 time. So I do agree a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, they did a really good job of staying way ahead of the chains. So they didn't have to drop back and get into these deep passing situations. Hartline did a great job his first game calling the game in terms of controlling the sticks and controlling that Texas pass rush. Because when you look at it, they were running the ball just to keep the D line at home, keep them kind of from pinning their ears back. Like that's all that run game was today for them. And Colin Simmons today, like there were times where, he's rushing and like they left him one-on-one a lot. So there's no excuse. But to just play devil's advocate, they did have him dropping a lot more because they were taking away Jeremiah Smith. Anytime, like it was a couple of times where Colin Simmons at the line, and if Smith is in the slot, he'll buzz out, chuck him, and now he's playing like a curl flat. So he had plenty of opportunities. I don't think he showed up in the way that we wanted him to, or probably needed him to, just in terms of being impactful. But to your point, Matt, when it comes to the receiver play, I think our guys struggled to get open versus one-on-one coverage all day. It was, I mean, even the touchdown and the big plays we had, they were great throws. They were thrown open, right? Like you didn't see much separation. And to me, that was the biggest difference from Julian Sang and Arch. Like Julian Sang was throwing wide open guys at time. Like just, why is Jeremiah Smith sitting over the ball by himself, right? And then our guys are getting smothered in every facet. So, I mean, there's a lot to learn from this game, a lot of positive, but the bad was bad enough to cause us to lose a 7-point game. They probably should have won by 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great throw from Arch Manning to Parker Livingston. He's got to catch that. I mean, it hit him in both hands. I don't know. I mean, it's good play by Igbenogson too. He's in his hip, but I mean, that's a really good throw. That was probably his best throw all day, honestly. It was thrown with anticipation and put right on his hands, and he just dropped it.
That was the only place that ball could be thrown, and it was thrown there. And like you just got him. Like the difference of the game was Ohio State made the plays they were supposed to make. They didn't have to do anything special. Like they just made the plays, the simple plays that they were supposed to make. Whereas Texas, we couldn't do the little things right.
What was another thing that stuck out to you guys, I guess, before we wrap this up? Was there anything else that stuck out as bad, or is that about it on the bad side? I mean, that is a lot. We talked for 20 minutes on bad stuff. We don't want to do that.
We kind of talked about the receivers not getting much separation. Do you guys think that's a long-term issue, or do you think this is just sort of an outlier, first week of the season, good DBs, that sort of thing? Or do you think that was something we should keep an eye on?
I mean, I think Ohio State is going to be one of the best 3 defenses they play all year, and probably, one of the best defenses in the country. That secondary is ridiculous. And I think, that being said, like the amount of talent Texas has in that wide receiver room, I think they probably should have been able to do a bit more. But also, early in the game, there were spots where they did get open, and Arch had some bad throws there. So there's, it's hard to judge the wide receiver play because Arch missed some of the layups that he should have hit that would have honestly been game changers. I think the other bad is all 4 of your offensive penalties were on the offensive offensive line.
Ugh.
3 false starts and a holding. I think 2 of the 4 were Brandon Baker. So that's something that needs to get cleaned up sooner rather than later as well, because you can't, especially if you're struggling already, putting yourself behind the chains is just a death sentence.
Yeah, and the holding was on your most experienced guy in DJ Campbell. It just can't happen.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Baker. Like, first start on the road, I'm not going to be too hard yet, because I saw Cam Williams do some stuff last year, and I was like, okay, but that can't continue. We can't be doing this game 10, 11, 12 like DJ or like Cam Williams was. So Baker, I'll give him a little bit of leeway for right now, but I agree. And yeah, DJ Campbell, it's just inexcusable at this point. Like, that guy, just inconsistent.
Counterpoint, though, that's the only time I noticed DJ Campbell in a negative way, which is a welcome change.
Well, I thought he blocked well. I thought he did really well in run blocking. I thought there was consistent lanes with both guards. I mean, I thought Stroh looked really strong. And, if you want to talk about a positive, I thought Stroh looked really good out there today. So I thought that was really positive. But, yeah, the penalties were – the timing of them, too, was just bad.
Timing of the penalties, yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Everything about Texas, it's the wrong timing. It's not to do – like, they run the ball well, except when it's 4th and 1, you absolutely need it. They can get in the red zone if it's not versus a really good team when you absolutely need it. They commit penalties they don't commit penalties most of the time, but when it's 3rd and 5, you turn it into a 3rd and 10, and then it's impossible to do. So it's all this timing stuff that adds up and just destroys their chances.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is you make these mistakes week 1 versus arguably the best team in the country, defending champs. So, if you're going to lose to any team, I think I'd want to lose to Ohio State. I guess that's my only thing.
We will see them again in the playoffs.
I hope so.
I have that feeling. I have that feeling as well. Mike is right. Yeah, we had a false start from Wingo, I believe.
Wingo. That was Wingo. Yeah.
That should never happen.
Yeah,
that should never
happen.
This is the last thing I actually do want to talk about. Where the hell was the motion in the wide receiver screens?
It got going in the back end of the second quarter, but the first quarter there wasn't a ton of that.
No.
Yeah, when you look at it, like the theme of the day, because like all coaches doing on offense, they have a kind of a theme of what they want to get to and like how they want to do it. If you go back and look, all of his motions were from outside in. They were trying to get guys running starts, and then they'll run concepts, they'll run screens, opposed to what we're accustomed to as far as jet sweep motion or cross motions or the orbit motion to like throw off like the odds of the opponent. When you just motion in, like that's easy. Like, bro, okay, he's right here. He's not going anywhere. He's moving too fast to go across. He's coming down. He's running this way. You know what I mean? So like to me, to your point, like the motion, like that's part of our offense. Like that's what helps us in terms of the screens, helps in the run game too, because it pulls guys out of gaps and box. It was to me like that was, again, that falls on the Sark. Like he didn't call a game that helped his guys get in position to make plays. To me,
one of the things that Sark always talks about is says that his scripts are pretty long, they're pretty lengthy. So what I've noticed is those first handful of early drives, that's really when the motion isn't quite there. It feels like he starts to integrate more motion as the game progresses, which I sort of think maybe add a bit more motion early on. I'm not sure if motion is the difference between us winning or losing this game, but just some creativity early on. I mean, it was, as conservative as you can get early on, and it was just wildly inconsistent. There was no balance early. The running game was really effective, but then you couldn't balance that with a positive passing game. So the fourth quarter, really. So, I think we put some blame on Sark, but I think a lot of it also has to go on the quarterback for just not executing. If that's Quinn Ewers, Quinn executes some of those throws. I know we give Quinn a lot of shit, but he executes some of those throws. Arch was not executing those.
What I was missing was the quarterback design runs.
We didn't do that till the second half.
Like we have a quarterback who can actually run the football. Like let him get going. If he's missing throws, but it's 3rd and 3, like let's get him going with his legs. Like build some confidence. Like to me, we missed some key opportunities, and then when we do run them, we run a tush push. Like, bro, that's not like let him get to he can run. Let him get to the edge. Let him run sprint out. Maybe he throws it, maybe he runs it, but we got to Jay Watt's point, we got very just vanilla and kind of ordinary and predictable. And when you do that with a good defense, you don't move the ball when it matters.
Can we make a comment on what Mike just mentioned, talking about the vanilla football we ran today? Are you guys in agreement with what he said there, or do you guys disagree? Do you guys think he threw the playbook out, or do you think it was just straight vanilla?
That was vanilla.
I think it was vanilla in the first half. I think he opened it up a little bit more in the second half, but not enough. Like, I don't think it was enough to where it wasn't. To me, the Alabama game from 2 years ago is like him opening it up in a regular season game, letting it fly. Right. We didn't do that at all today versus Ohio State. I felt like till it was like too late, basically. Like, we waited all this time and then it was too late. We were down 14-0.
And I think the difference in this game wasn't the eye candy, though. It wasn't all that eye candy stuff, the motions and all that crap that Texas has become a kind of almost like the Twitter meme of, for lack of a better term. Like, the difference to me was Texas. I think Texas' inability to string together a successful like running game, or like I felt like it was working on alternate drives. The run's working one drive, they can't get the pass going. The pass is going one drive, they can't get the run going. It's like that to me. I don't know if it's vanilla, but it definitely is Texas not being able, Steve Sarkisian, and ultimately like some of it's on the players, right? Because again, I will keep going back to, there were on that touchdown drive, I don't know how you throw a Texas route behind a running back. Like, it's just wild to me to see that. Just like Trey Wisner's head was not even around. Like, how just simple stuff like that. The Ryan Wingo crossing routes, the first pass that bounced. Like, I don't like that's not on Steve Sarkisian. That's on players executing, which ultimately is Steve Sarkisian prepping.
It's on coaching. Yeah, well, because when you look at every throw he missed, it was his hips and feet. His hips and feet were all out of whack. Like, unless you're Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, who can throw off their back foot and throw a fadeaway dart, like you have to be balanced. Like, when you look at any throw he missed, he wasn't balanced. When you look at all the great throws he made, it's all about balance and poise. When anytime he felt anything was off, he's throwing like this, and he's throwing off his back foot, and he's throwing it behind. Like, you saw it every time he missed the throw. Ball was at the short, or ball was behind. So that's something Arch has to fix. Like, coaches can tell him what, like, you have to mentally see this on tape and know that, okay, I can stand tall. I have to trust my guards. I have to trust my tackles. You can tell at some points he didn't trust those guys in front of him because he was airmailing balls. He was delivering balls behind guys. So just like any football game, it goes hand in hand, coaching, execution. So like, Arch is going to get better, but he has to be able to execute when it matters most. And third down, we were terrible on offense, and just in terms of executing. That's why we went for it 5 times on fourth. On third down, that was my problem with Arch. You can miss the throw on first and second, okay, but when you miss a 3rd and 5, when you miss these easy throws on pivotal downs, that's when you kind of like, that's not on coaching. That's you not stepping up to the plate.
I also don't think Sark realized it, at least to me. We ran the ball better out of shotgun than when we were under center. Like, when we were out of shotgun, we were getting 4 to 6 yards of carry every freaking time with Trey Wisner and CJ Baxter. But then when we go under center, they stuffed us. So I don't think he recognized that very well, in my opinion.
Well, I wonder if maybe it's sort of a discomfort with the team, because with Quinn, they never went under center. This is sort of a new thing for this offense with Arch. I wonder if maybe that's why. Maybe they're just more comfortable with it being a shotgun or pistol. But yeah, I don't know. They gotta figure it out. They gotta figure out how to string together drives, how to be more balanced. I mean, it was just all out of whack today. And when they finally felt like they had some of it, it went well. But that in the red zone, gosh, it's killer.
Yeah, the red zone is, that's why I said he should give up play calling, because it's not like this is a one-time thing.
Maybe he gives up play calling when they get to the red zone. Give it to somebody else.
That would be interesting.
It would be, but
all right.
I wonder if you can hire somebody that is just so good at the red zone offense and have them implement some plays. And obviously it's too late now, where we just started the season, but if it's going to be a continuous trend, they might need to look at it.
I don't disagree with that. Like, you could hire someone that just specifies in that area that's really good, that can get something going. Because, yeah, you're right, it hasn't worked. But, we spent a lot of time on the bad. Let's jump over to the good. And the first guy I want to shout out, because I was worried about him in this game, Grayson Littleton. Grayson Littleton is
Played-
a dude
Played
for
his ass
Texas.
off.
He was my
Every
number one.
opportunity, every opportunity he got, he either broke up the pass or that. Here we go. They throw it 1-on-1. I believe it was Carnell Tate and him, open field. If they get a first down, that's going to end the football game. Solid tackle, not even worried about it. Got him down as soon as he caught it. That dude is for real. Everything we heard about him in training camp is for real. He is going to play at Texas probably for only 3 years and then go off to the NFL because that's how good I think he is,
Good.
honestly. Yeah.
Good. No, I think you're right. And go ahead.
I was gonna mention. Did you guys see Michael Taft playing the nickel? I don't think I saw him play nickel very much.
So they got to it a different way. They it was like they'll play 3 safeties deep, and Taft would be like the insert guy, and he would technically based on fits, he's the nickel, because the nickel will actually slide into backer, but it would be a backer in a nickel spot, and they'll like it was weird how they got to it, but they had some 3 safety looks where he technically like became the nickel, but they never put him just over the slot.
Yeah.
No. But they kind of hit him and let him play downhill.
Yeah, which is probably good. I mean, he was going against Jeremiah Smith. Grayson Littleton had a great play on Jeremiah Smith too.
Grayson Littleton's a baller.
Yeah.
He is. And I think the defense, we saw it all year last year. The defense kept Texas in games that they probably shouldn't have been in based on how the offense performed, and they did it yet again. Again, if you tell me that Ohio State goes 2.3 yards per rush in this game and that Jeremiah Smith has 43 yards, I think Texas wins in a landslide, right? The defense played one of the better games I think we're going to see all year from any unit against Jeremiah Smith. I would be shocked to see Jeremiah Smith doesn't go off over the next 11 weeks. So the defense, once again, I think it is going to be a bell cow. And Pete Kwiatkowski, write him a blank check, keep him around for as long as he wants to be here. Like just give that man the farm, everything.
Can I mention the next big guy outside of Grayson Littleton? Leongo
Lafau. Yep.
Baller today. Made some great plays. I was talking about Ty Anthony Smith. Leongo Lafau was better than Anthony Hill out there today. I mean, he looked like the first round pick. I was really impressed with him.
He didn't cut his hair.
The 2 best linebackers on the field were Leongo Lafau and Arvell Reese for Ohio State. Those are the 2 best linebackers on the field today.
Yep.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that one. Slutty Styles looked pretty good too, though.
Yeah, he was solid.
Matthew, I'm going to call you on it. Are you ready to apologize to Quintravian Wisner? Are you ready to do it?
I'm ready. He played really well.
And
he looked good. He looked like he was the best running back on the field, period, I think, throughout that game. Like the question that I think we all had, at least I had, about Trey Wisner was just durability, right? He was a smaller guy, and he kept the elusiveness that made him really great while adding on some weight and increasing his ability to run between the tackles, which is really where he struggled last year. So I think we have to shout him out because frankly, we've all, I think at least Matthew and I on the Monday night show have wondered his ability to be RB1 for a team that wins a national championship. And I think he played like it today.
Yeah. And in fairness, CJ Baxter as well was incredible on passing downs, not just receiving the ball. He had, I think, 5 catches today, but pass protection wise, there was multiple times where there's a free rusher and he made a great block. So, for Baxter, who's coming off a major injury, 40 yards rushing, 25 yards receiving, they kept saying that Trey Wisner was CJ Baxter. They called Baxter on the kickoff, and I was like, Baxter's taking the kickoff here? I was shocked. And then they saw it was Trey Wisner. I thought that was weird, but no, both backs played well. And I think these next 3 weeks, we're going to see a lot more of the other guys too, like Christian Clark.
Brandon, do you have any good from this game, or is it all bad for you?
No, it's not all bad. You know, my favorite player today was Punter Jack. Man, he was consistent. He pinned them really deep. Good. He special teams guys never get love unless they make the game-winning kick or hate for missing the kick or shanking the ball. I thought he was consistent. He pinned them back deep. Like to me, like when you talk about like flipping the field and having a punter as a weapon, that's what that means. That's why going for it on 4th down so many times never made sense. He was destroying the ball. At one point, like his gross was like 53.5, 55 yards a punt, and then the net ended up being like 46, 47. That's like all conference, all American type numbers right there. And I'm talking about like this hostile environment, backed up midfield. Like it was a beautiful performance by him. trying to think who else played well.
3 of his 4 punts were in the 20. Yep. Great.
Like that helps your defense in ways, and like that's encouraging as a defender to sit there like you go out, like you see the punt team. You hate that you have to see the punt team, but when you see them, it's like, okay, I'm not worried. They're getting the ball inside the 20. They're gonna have to work for this because it changes play calling. Like it helps you on defense to know that you got a guy that can pin those guys deep. Like when he pinned them inside the 1, it was a beautiful punt. That's so hard to do, but it was perfect execution by that, not just him, by the entire unit. So big shout out to the special teams unit today. Like, we were effective, we were efficient, like everything was clean today.
I think that was Grayson Littleton that downed the ball too inside the line. I'm pretty sure that was him. He there's so many good things about like the defense, the special teams. I even think like the offensive line in the run game, the running backs, that I think the only questions to come away with are Arch Manning and the wide receivers. And I think a lot of that will get fixed, but we don't know. But overall, impressive showing by the new guys too. Like Cole Brevard, there's a clip of him taking on a quadruple team from Ohio State and just standing up. Like that guy is going to be a really good player here for Texas for his 1 year, and then he'll get drafted in the NFL. I thought Travis Shaw played pretty well. I thought Alex January played pretty well. I thought Hero Kanu played pretty well. So overall, those guys played really well on the interior. And that's just something at this point. I'm just kind of like, yeah, we replace those guys and they come in. There's some other guys that come in and do really well because that's what Texas does now at this point.
Yeah.
So they kind of just made me feel safe about that position still. So that was good.
Yeah, I got a couple of defensive guys I want to give some credit to. Ethan Burke, I thought, made a couple of nice plays in run defense today. Alex January, I mean, build-wise, looks very similar to Byron Murphy in some ways. He made a nice tackle for loss on the day as well. I thought Derek Williams looked pretty sharp out there. I thought Gilbo played really good until I think he was the guy that got caught on by Tate.
Yeah.
But I thought for the most part he played pretty well outside of that. And I also want to give a lot of credit to Jelani McDonald too. I didn't really see his name out there too much, but I thought he was really solid in run support. But yeah, I just thought most of the guys were pretty good. Even Manny Muhammad, who gave up some catches, I thought he played fine. I mean, he had a couple bad plays here and there, but I wasn't disappointed with his performance today.
Not at all. I mean, that secondary showed up to play. Like, they took on the challenge. Even the touchdown by Tate, like, that's more of, like, that's a hell of a catch. He gets paid too type of thing where I would tell the guy on the sideline, like, hey, bro, we got you. We're good. Because if you're telling me he makes that catch 9 out of 10 times, then that guy's probably a first-round pick, top 2 pick type stuff, right? That's not the case. Like, we can live with that because, like, that was great coverage. So, like to me, that secondary play sound. They were smart. Like, we did have some bad plays just in terms of our eye discipline and just being out of place. But all of that stuff is correctable and coachable. That's what I really love about that group and as a whole. Everything they did today is coachable and correctable for weeks on end. Like, those are easy fixes. It's nothing where we're like questioning who do we play? Like, who do we play next week? Is it Kobe? Is it Gilbo? Is it Grace? Now we know, like, we have some guys. They're all going to play. Now it's just a matter of who's hot at the time or who's playing better than who. So that, to me, that's iron sharpens iron. We should be better as an entire secondary, as a unit, as the season goes on, because that was really encouraging. Like, that's a really good group of receivers there. And we did a good job of challenging them, staying on the body, like really playing like good sound football. Had a couple penalties, but again, nothing that's not correctable. That's very encouraging.
I want to give a shout out to Jack Andrews. I thought he was the best receiver, the most consistent one, and he soundly outplayed Max Clare. And Max Clare is the guy in next year's draft. I think Jack Andrews looked much better out there. He looked solid in every facet today. So, with a lot of these receivers not being able to find separation, I thought Jack, for the most part, did his job out there. A little disappointed in DeAndre Moore and Ryan Wingo. Neither guy really made a lot of plays, especially DeAndre Moore. I feel like I didn't even say his name once. So, credit to Jack Andrews, and, Livingstone made up for that drop earlier with a nice touchdown grab too.
Andrews was open on that first 4th down stop too on that RPO. Arch should have pulled that and tossed it to him.
There was a couple of those plays on 3rd and 4th down where he had a guy open, but he just didn't read it. That touchdown that Livingstone dropped, Ryan Wingo was wide open, and I was screaming, throw it to Wingo. He throws the fade ball, which, I mean, great throw in his end, but, could have had an easier one with Wingo there. So, it is what it is.
That ball was going to Livingstone the whole time. Like, That's not even a read. Once you see man to man, you have like 20 yards of space, and they teach it, throw it to the bucket. Receiver got to catch it, but yeah, no, like
it's weird that would be the first read because you have the Wingo coming in and there's two guys rubbing his corner, right? So you would think that would be your first read, but maybe the thought process is everyone thinks it's going to go here, go over there.
That's a Peyton Manning staple. It's Andy Y7. So 3 runs the corner, the 2 run in. The only time you throw the in routes are versus zone coverage because they're sitting then because then they're open, like they're wide open. Other than that, the thought is he's usually playing inside leverage, run the corner route away from his leverage. Yeah, like all of the football is stupid. Trust me.
Do you like that play call there? I don't really know if I like that. What was the down and distance again? I can't. Was it?
That was a 4th and goal, right?
Yeah, 4th and goal.
Yeah.
I think I would have run something else. I don't know.
Peyton Manning would have had Livingstone bench for that, by the way.
He's not playing, but like to that point, I don't know if we have a guy I trust to like go get that ball. Like just hey, this ball's going to you.
Khalid Lockett. We talked about it.
Yeah,
he will be the guy.
Emmett Mosley.
Yeah. Well, was he injured? Did he play at all?
Yeah. No, he was hurt. We
do
do miss him. Like I didn't think we would, but we missed him.
Absolutely, because like that situation, I'm sitting there like, yeah, I wouldn't have thrown it to Livingstone. Like that's just me. I would have picked the jump ball guy. Like I'm talking about pure. This is all he's good at. He's going to get this ball. Livingstone did a better job on the other play, but again, his body was turned the other way, so it's easier. It's easier when your body's turned towards the ball opposed to when you have to turn away from the ball. So just the small nuances of understanding your personnel like that, we'll get better at. Again, this is their first game. This was a highly competitive preseason game, essentially, for those guys. Like it means a lot in terms of the rankings later on, but it's their first game together, live action, and we know Ohio State's going to get better, but they're not that much better. Like they're not better than us, I don't think. I think we left plays on the field where, so it's like, okay, if that was their best shot or that was their like a swing, so okay, I can definitely take that punch and we'll be just fine.
Flush it, go win the conference, and play them again in January.
Cool. Were any of you guys impressed by Julian Sayin? I felt like he didn't really do anything impressive out there. He just made the right throws and didn't make a mistake.
Well, that's what I was going to.
He hit the easy ones.
Yeah, I said when Brandon and I were on the 365 show, I thought that would be the case of like whatever quarterback didn't make the least amount of mistakes would win the game. And I thought that was going to be Arch, but it wasn't. Like Julian Sayin just made the right play every time he touched the ball. He's like, I have to do this on this play. I did this. I have to do this on this play. I did this. He never did anything great. He never did everything bad. But in this type of game, first game of the season, that's kind of all you have to do. Now, down the stretch, if he plays like that versus elite competition, they're not going to win anything meaningful, in my opinion. But for his first start, I can't judge him too much. It was his first start versus a real good defense. Like I think he might have played the best defense in the country. So I'm not going to judge him that harshly.
And I think B. Ross said it early. Shouts to Brian Hartline for making it easy on his young quarterback, right? Like he put him in position to get the ball out quick. He put him in position to not have to do a ton of complicated things, which is what you really need to do in a quarterback in his first start against a defense like Texas.
I think the last positive I want to mention, I thought the left side of the offensive line, Gooseby, Stroh, and Hudson. I thought they all played well. I thought the right side really struggled today, especially we talked about Brandon Baker and his struggles, and we talked about DJ and the penalties, but I thought the left side looked really good today. So I feel really confident about that unit moving forward. And again, you're going against Ohio State, so you only gave up 1 sack and you threw the ball 30 times. So I'll give him some flowers.
Absolutely.
No, I agree. Like Trevor Gooseby, it was hilarious. He's going to play with the club. He's not going to be able to play. Ends up playing with basically a Band-Aid, and you didn't hear a peep from that side because he's really good. Like I had the utmost confidence in him because I've seen him do it versus Clemson, Georgia, and A&M. So I really wasn't worried about him. But yeah, there are a lot of good things. Like CJ Baxter being able to carry and run the way he did is the number one takeaway I have from this game. Like I really thought we would see that at like the back half of the year, but you're getting that now. That's a gigantic win for Texas because that is your big down back that you should be able to execute in the red zone and be able to get touchdowns with. So I think that's my biggest takeaway and the best good thing to come away from this game.
Yeah, I agree. CJ Baxter, and he made some good plays in pass protection too, like we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, was that Arvell Reese where he came back and noticed it and just blew him up?
I think it was. I think it might have been Sonny Styles, one of the two. It doesn't matter, but that was an incredible play by him. And should give credit to Arch too. He moving in the pocket a little bit. There was some times where Arch had a clean pocket, but he felt pressure off the edge, so he rolled out and put himself in more pressure. When he would have, if he could have just stepped up in the pocket, would have had a clean pocket. I honestly think maybe like he only had a handful of pressures that were the offensive line's fault, and most of them came off the right side, but I thought the offensive line, for the most part, did a solid job today. That's
a common quarterback thing. Like young quarterbacks every level, opposed to stepping up, they find it the unique way to get in more trouble by going to their throwing arm usually and trying to make something happen. But so yeah, no, like the offensive line didn't play terrible because we only gave up 1 sack, I think, right?
Yep.
So like that's encouraging. Like that means like the best, our best football should be ahead of us. Again, like we are like a touchdown in the, like we're 2 touchdowns away in the red zone from us having a totally different conversation. Like,
I mean, that's what was frustrating about that first drive coming out of the third quarter. That was a grown man drive. Like we were running it down their throats. And then when you get to the 1, you can't get it in. So it's like, I just don't get it.
How far do you guys think we fall in the rankings now? I have to imagine we're still in the top 5.
5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. I think 5.
Oh, if Florida State knocks off Alabama, they just scored again. So
yeah, 14-7.
There could be some shakeups at the top.
7.
It's crazy how some of these schools are going up against nobodies in their first week, and you got Texas going up against the defending champs. So you know,
we actually might not drop that far, honestly.
We can crap on Texas all we want, but we got Georgia playing freaking Marshall and Penn State versus Nevada. So it's like, yeah, boo-hoo, we lost to Ohio State, aka the defending champs. Like, oh wow, we suck. At least, you know, we could have went against a trash team and beat them by 50, and we probably would have kept number 1. But I respect us for putting up an actual capable opponent that is good. So I'll give us flowers. And you know, if we move down, it doesn't matter to me. I could care less.
I would rather play them now with this young team and build the armor of what it's like, because the next time we play them, it's going to be at a neutral site.
Yeah,
maybe it's back in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have this is the perfect way to start a season in terms of who we play and like really how we play, because when it's all said and done, this is only going to make us better.
I agree. I would 100% rather have us lose 14-7 to Ohio State and have such a competitive game that went down to the wire than go up against a Marshall and beat him by 60. And we don't know anything about Arch because he's going up against Division III guys, basically, you know? So, I mean, it sucks we lost. I would have rather have won, but I'd rather this be the outcome than a 4-0 start where we didn't beat anybody worth a damn, like Penn State's going to do.
Yeah, 100%.
No, I don't disagree with that. But could we flip it? You know, like next year have it game 2. I think that would help out a little bit.
Well, that's what we did last year. We had Michigan in week 2, and I think that helped us calm the nerves there. And obviously, this one you get thrown into the fire. That Ohio State crowd was crazy all day.
That's tough.
But it's good. I mean, if you tell Arch Manning now, hey, you're going to play Georgia at Georgia Stadium, he's going to say, well, I just played Ohio State in the shoe in week 1. So he's going to be totally comfortable. Yeah. At least you would hope.
Well, that's the thing. We have another test before Georgia. You go to the Swamp, and that's going to be that's kind of like a great middle tier between those 2 games, because you're going to get challenged. They're a good enough team to challenge you, but you do have more talent. You should beat them, but you never know. Like they definitely have enough talent to challenge us. But let's move over to this. What do you guys look for going forward from this team? Like, what do you want to see? I know we play 3 very bad football teams. Like Sam Houston might be the worst team just in general in college football. Like I watched them yesterday versus UNLV. They are a very, very bad football team. But what do you want to see the next couple of weeks going forward for Texas?
Joe?
Go ahead, Joe.
I mean, I think I want Texas to look like the Death Star against these schools. Like that's really what it needs to be. I think for Texas to again feel confident going into the swamp, you need to be able to run through these teams, and you should based on talent alone, right? I mean, you can't just you can't just roll it out there and be good. But I think this is about as close to it as it can be for this team. So I think I think Arch being able to hit the layups is probably like if you can't hit the layups against these next three squads, then the red flags are going up. But if Arch could get into rhythm, get relaxed, kind of get out of his head, hit the layups, I think that's the one thing. I think that'll be a differentiator for Texas.
For myself, I want to see over these next 3 games a number 1 receiver that Arch can build a connection with, because we have the ground game. I think we proved it. We can run against Ohio State. I think the offensive line showed enough to think we're pretty set there. Defense was baller today, but receivers couldn't find separation, and when they did, Arch could never really build a connection or rhythm with any of them. So I think moving forward, I want to see Arch find one, whether it's Livingstone, Wingo, DeAndre Moore, any of those guys. Can he find somebody who he can rely upon on 3rd and 8? I got to find a guy who's going to find separation. I'm going to throw it to that guy, because Ohio State has that with Jeremiah Smith, right? And Colt McCoy had that. And Quinn Ewers had that last year with Jordan Whittington at times. So that's what I want to see with Arch Manning this year. Can we find somebody who can be that go-to guy in certain situations?
So I actually want to see. I want to see the offense be way more efficient. I mean, from play callers to the run game to the pass game, like just be efficient and like play 3 clean games. Like I don't want sloppy football. I don't want 2 turnover games, because those are indicators of what may come versus better teams. So I want to see clean football. Like I'd rather be whoever we play over the next 3 weeks, 35 to zip and play a clean game, than win 55 zip and the game is kind of just all over the place, where like we make great plays, but we're just better, so we win by a lot more. I want to see clean, efficient football, less penalties on both sides. I want to see the return game take a step forward. Like I want to see efficiency, so that when we're in these hostile environments, when we go to Florida, when we go to Georgia, like it's not out of the realm of possibility for us to play a clean and efficient game, because that can carry over the rest of the year, because then they know how to do it. Once you do it a couple times, you do it over and over, then it's confidence to say, okay, I can do it. This guy's a little bit better, but we can do this. So that's all I'm looking for.
No, I completely agree with that, and the wide receiver thing, and also what you said, Gerald, because it's just these little things that Texas has to do. Stay clean, I completely agree, would be the number 1 thing, because we've seen it happen. Like, that was what had the red flags go up for me last year versus Mississippi State, is all these little things like, why are we committing these stupid penalties? That just needs to stop. If you want to be a national championship team, you can't be doing that. You can't be giving teams that are on your level extra opportunities to beat you, and that's what you're doing. So it's going to be interesting if you're able to do that. And then another thing, we didn't get to see Mason Shipley kick today. I want to see that. Like, we're going to need him come. Yeah, we're going to have to see him down the stretch. Like, that's going to matter too. I'm surprised, honestly, it didn't matter in this game, because that's the type of game it was. We got to see the other guy. Bomeister's a really good punter. My worries are gone with the punting position. I have no idea still about the kicking position. So can we get that figured out? Will it be high pressure kicks? Probably not. Let's hope not, because if those are high pressure kicks in the next 3 weeks, then we have a whole different discussion. But I would like to see, some opportunities. And I hope Sark realizes that too, in games of, it's 4th and 1 here on the 31, but we're up 17-0. I'm just going to have him kick it. I hope he does something like that instead of going for it, because you need to learn about that guy. You need to learn if you can trust him between 40 to 50 yards kicking the football, because the last guy you couldn't, and he cost us some games. So I'm hoping we learn about Mason Shipley coming down the stretch as well.
Good call. Absolutely. Yeah. Like Sark, in terms of, talent alone, we should beat these next 3 schools by 21 plus points, right? Sark should definitely use these next 3 weeks to see what guys are made of at different positions and in different situations, just like to help build their confidence and their character within the game, and for him to better understand his team, because it's easy to say it in practice, because you control the situation. You control that he's kicking a 50-yard field goal from the left hash. Like, okay, that's all in your control. Like, but when it's live bullets flying, even if it's versus San Jose State, like, we still get to see, to your point, Matt, like what these guys can do, what they're made of. So hopefully he used this opportunity over the next 3 weeks as guys are playing well to put them in kind of uncomfortable situations and moments so that we can see if they can live up to it.
Yeah, these next 3 games, they're called stat games. This is where you pad your stats.
No, I used to love those.
Arch, go for 10 touchdowns these next 3 weeks. Trey get 100 yards. Brian Wingo going 100 yards. Colin Simmons get 2 sacks. Like these are what these games are for. It's about building rhythm, putting up big numbers, buffing your numbers up a little bit. And then when you go up against Florida and Oklahoma, you have some confidence. You should be fully healthy. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys saw it. We saw Lance Jackson got some playing time today.
Yeah.
So I want to see some of these other freshmen really get a lot of reps here. And I think it's a big vote of confidence they put Lance Jackson. And I don't think Justice Terry played much. At least I didn't catch it. So it tells me a lot that they think very highly of Lance Jackson, that they had a package with him and Brad Spence quite often. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I want to see other wide receivers get involved too, like Khalil Lockett and Jamie French. I would like to see get more playing time. I understand why they didn't trust him today, but we saw Dalen McCutcheon make a catch. I think he was out there for 5 to 7 snaps, but I would like to see Khalil Lockett, because Khalil Lockett going forward, he was kind of built for this game. If you can't get separation from the wide receivers, guess what? You can throw it up to a guy that can win those 50-50 balls. So
exactly.
I would like to see him get those plays or play a little bit more down the stretch in these next 3 games as well.
We should see the very bottom of the depth chart, hopefully, over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
It's nice we get 3 straight home games, because then right after that we get the bye, and then you got to go to the Swamp, then the Red River. You got a couple of Kentucky's, Mississippi State's, don't matter. But then you got Georgia in Georgia Stadium, right? So that's 3.
That's tough place to play.
Huge places to play at that are going to be loud.
Don't have a home game for a month.
I know. Even if Florida is not good, right? If they're not good, that crowd is going to be packed when they go up against Texas, and they're going to be louder probably against Texas than most other teams this year. So I'm expecting the worst in those games, but I'm open for Arch to build some confidence and be ready for those games. At least you hope.
That's what I want to see too. I want to see how Arch responds.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That will tell me everything I need to know about the rest of the year. His response over the next 3 weeks in terms of not how he plays, but how his teammates handle him. And because he missed a lot of throws. He missed some easy throws, right? Like everyone saw it, the receivers felt it, O-line, like everyone sees it. Biggest stage, like how he handles the media, how he handles those guys in practice, like how he handles himself as a leader right now that will say more about the rest of the year than any player ever will, because he's the guy. So as the guy, how are you going to handle this failure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Rick, unfortunately for us, nothing matters till the next big game. Just look at I agree overall, but look at the small details that are executed in these games, because those little details will matter when we get to the big games. That's the only thing I asked. That's why I was so hard on the team after the Mississippi State game last year. Like, can they get that key 3rd and 1? Can they get that key 4th and 1? Can they execute in the red zone? Do they not commit penalties? Stuff like that, because we're going to win the games. If that happens, then we just say burn this season to the ground if we lose to one of these 3 teams. But look at the small things.
Yeah, I think the big thing for people watching and even ourselves, it's not overreact. All right. We lost the game by 7. We had the ball with 2 minutes left. If he hits Ryan Wingo on that drag, who knows what happens? We may end up winning this game, and it's a whole different conversation we're having now. So,
right.
And don't overreact these next 3 weeks. When we destroy UTEP, San Jose State, Sam Houston, don't come back on here saying, "Oh, we're the best team in the country." We beat trash teams. Let's wait till Florida, Oklahoma, Georgia even, and we'll figure out who this Texas team is then. For now, you can judge them off this game all you want, but we went toe-to-toe with a damn good Ohio State team that, just like Texas, recruits 5 and 4 stars, and they're always in the top 5 recruiting classes, and they get the best transfers. They have the best of the line coaches. So you lost by 7 to a damn good team. Yes, you would have won to win this game, but don't be too mad. It could have been a whole lot worse.
Completely agree.
Absolutely.
So we're going to wrap this one up. Give each and every one of us a follow on whatever social media platform you choose. That is Brandon's TikTok and IG right there. He is a voice of the Texas Voice of College Football channel on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Josh also co-hosts with him then. Give him a shout out on YouTube as well at Metro Sports and on X as Metro Sports YT. And then Gerald, my co-host, has a Longhorn pod every when do you release that, Gerald? Every Tuesday, Monday?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Check it out on Spotify or any place you get your podcast. And then you can check us out Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We will be breaking this game down further, be able to watch it back, unfortunately. And, just look at the smaller details, look at the line play and stuff like that. You get too emotionally involved in this game sometimes. You don't really pay attention to the line of scrimmage. So I think it'll be good to look at that. We really appreciate you guys being here. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below, guys. And we're going to run a few ads here before we get out of here, but we really appreciate you guys joining us. We will be here, wins or losses, every Saturday of the season, talking Longhorns football with you guys. And we really appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, before we go, here's a couple words from Mark Rogers TV.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click Join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now. You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
And before we get out of here, guys, as always, we got to throw the horns up. Thank you guys for joining us. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe and hook 'em.
Hook 'em, baby.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're